Wednesday, it's time to talk about movies, and this time I'm bringing you another science fiction movie. It's available on Netflix, and it's called Archive. The trailer description is in link. Please help yourself and watch the trailer. I've had bad experiences playing the trailer and putting it on the background, so I'm just gonna talk about the movie. So, Archive. It's a very interesting word, and it's a common word. I think everyone who knows basic English would know what is archive. Archive is basically you put something into storage, like files archive or store archive. So basically, it's a collection of some stuff that is stored for some purpose or for just reference. Okay, later point of time you want to get back to it, so you're just putting stuff. So that's archive. So this is the concept of the whole movie itself, but they have taken it one level further. Let me just check the sound. Yeah, sound is good. So what they've done is in this movie, the concept is when people die, their memory or the brain memories in the brain can be saved and retained for minimum of not minimum for up to 200 hours. So basically, they are archiving the person's memory who has died. So it's obviously a volunteership. So you have to, if you're only willing, you can enroll in this program, and as soon as you die, they make sure that your memories are archived, and you can the other person, the relatives or anyone who is close to the person who's dead, right? So they can communicate with this archive. It's basically a mission, so they can communicate with this person through this mission for 200 hours. So it will be like they are even though they are dead, they'll be alive for 200 hours through these memories, and then after that you cannot access them. So that's the expiry, 200 hours. Hi Muthukumar. uh, so that's the concept of the movie. So the concept is very interesting. As you see, the title of the movie is Archive, and the theme of the movie is similar to the meaning of the name. And what happens is it's a husband and wife story. So husband is a scientist. Basically, he gets an opportunity in Japan to do some research work. Their company is funding him, and he's basically his job is to develop AI robots, so which is similar to humans, in every possible aspect, like walking, talking, and thinking, behaving. So in every aspect, trying to match the humans, come up with create a robot that matches every aspect of humans. So that's his project, and he's working in this secluded island in Japan with a facility which doesn't have much security, but it's very, very, very profound, and it's a good facility, but still it's kind of old. And his boss is like checking up with him now and then to ensure like what status of the project, what you're doing. So this is how the protagonist is exposed. So we are shown that he is creating some robots, and already there are like two prototypes. One is like a very small kid. So we see that cartoon is running always, and this robot keeps watching the cartoon, and it's evident that that robot has intelligence up to 2 or 3 years of age. And then there's another robot which is like having intelligence and maturity level up to 16 or 18 years old, which is basically like a teen. And this is like sister. So basically every robot is a female. And the third robot that he's developing is learned what he has done, and he has learned through his mistakes, and he is putting every skill and knowledge that he has learned in this robot, and he's creating this third robot, which is J3. So basically J1, J2, J3. So J3 will match human in every way, and J3 is what do you say? It's based on his dead wife. So the appearance, voice, and behavior also, like she's basically he is basically trying to develop this robot into what do you say, kind of like his wife's nature. And we happen to know that a few months back, he and his wife were met with an accident, and his wife died. And but both of them were enrolled into this what do you call the archive program. And because of that, he was able to he's able to interact with his wife, but it's going towards the deadline of 200 hours. And while talking to this wife in this memory box, there are some connection issues, and we get to know that it's about the end of the line, and he's basically breaking into that box and taking the memories and feeding it to the robot that he's creating, J3. And we see that the robot has been up to the mark, and she's trying to, so when the robot is finished, she's actually behaving like his wife. And this is the whole movie. So until the climax, this is the whole movie. So this is what we see. Most of the scenes happen in Japan, and through flashbacks we come to know that he had a wife and she died in an accident, and both of them were enrolled in this archive program, and he was able to save the memory of his wife as soon as she died, and he's able to interact with his wife through this memory box in it almost like he has used up the 200 hours and it's towards the end. And this is what we believe. So it's like a facade. The whole story is like a facade, very false appearance, what we seem to believe. But at the climax, we realize that he's the one. He was the one who died in the accident. I'm giving you like super spoiler. It's almost spoiled for you. There's no other spoilers left. So he's the one who died in the accident, and then his memory was served. So the whole world that we saw, where he's living in Japan, trying to create robots, and he's like responding and connecting to his boss and telling his status, what's the status of the project, and those two robots, like child robot, teen robot, and this robot which is modeled after his wife. Everything was a lie. Not a lie, it's a simulation of his memory. So he's basically in the memory box, only his memory is living, and it's reaching towards the 200 hours deadline mark, and this simulation has built up this world. Like he's believing that he's the one who is alive, and his wife was dead, and he's developing these robots for a project, and people are funding him, and he's living in this Japan island. So everything what we saw is just a simulation in his memory. So basically it's the memory of the protagonist that we are seeing the whole movie. And it was very, very interesting, especially when it was revealed in this major concept of we watching the memory of a protagonist, not the actual protagonist, was highly satisfying, and I really liked this movie. And I watched it like 1 month back, but I still remember the scenes. And if you watch the trailer, it will be good. And I recommend you to watch this movie. Basically, I think I want to watch it again. So it's definitely more than once. Watch material. Okay, storyline is close to my one. Is they inspired from the arcane memory concept inspired from this movie? I guess. No, I think it came out in this movie came out in 2020. My one, I think. What do you say? My one is a different concept, buddy. My one, what do I say? My one is 2017. Yeah, 3 years before. Who knows? That director could have seen this Tamil movie and could have inspired, but it's basically similar. I would say not the same. Hi, Simon here. Hi. It's similar. So in my one, the concept is you are transferring your memory into another person. Okay. So in this movie, archive movie, the concept is when the person dies. What do you say? It's like you are taking the organs out, so that that's why you are signing up for this organ donors, and when you die, they try to remove the organs as quickly as possible. There is a deadline, right? So if you are donating your eyes or liver, a heart, it should be done as soon as you die. It should be done within some time. And if you miss that deadline, it's going to be waste. That organ is no more functional and will not be helpful to any other person. So it's a similar concept. So as soon as you die, they have to recover this brain's memories in a quick span of time, and put it on a electronic device which will retain it for 200 hours. So that's the deadline. So it's kind of believable concept they gave. So it's not completely unbelievable or it cannot be done. So I think if you see even in now in 2022. If someone were to develop, we will not be shocked for such technology. What do you say? If it is innovated, so it's a believable concept. That's what I liked. So they had that deadline. It's if it was like forever, you can interact with this person who's dead, and then it will be like what do you say? No point, right? So what is the concept? You're not interested. But here they had that deadline. So within 200 hours. 200 hours you can interact with when, so the sound or the voice coming from the memory box will feel as real as the person itself, so you'll feel them alive. So if sometimes we what do you say we felt right, so we want to talk so much but the person is dead, and you feel that what do you say emptiness, that I should have talked more. So it's that kind of concept, like if you retain those memories in the 200 hours you can satisfy whatever you want, like if you're not talk to them properly, or you can just what do you say interact with them. So that's the concept of this archive. And with such a beautiful science fiction concept, a layer on top of a layer, right? So on top of this archive concept they have put a science fiction movie and then a twist at the end. So very good movie, and I felt really satisfying watching this movie. Yeah, I saw this movie, super twist. It's like Tony Stark changes. Yeah, a lot of inspirations. I think it was made in 2020, right? So they would have drawn inspiration from many science fiction movies. So nowadays it's difficult to make a science fiction movie because whatever concept you think would already be in any of those movies, right? So, but this was interesting because of the twist, because it felt that you watched a good movie and you were like embarrassed. Oh, I should have figured this out, especially for a filmmaker like me, having knowing some information that common audience would not know, like what is the like foreshadowing, all I saw that, but I couldn't make it out. But still the climax was surprising to me. So yes, you need there's a lot to learn in films and filmmaking. And yes, the twist is what makes the film very interesting, but I'm really sorry I spoiled you guys. So if you have not watched it, please watch it. It will be still interesting, especially the cinematography, I should say. So it's in Japan, right? It's winter season, so the cinematography, if you see, it's like grayish white tone. Like if you see this robot, this is the third robot. This is the third robot. So it's called J3. It's actually that actress who played the wife character, same actress, I think. So I think she had another layer of makeup, or what do you say, some costume on her, which makes her look like a robot. I should check out the making of this movie. It will be interesting. So it's grayish white cinematography tone, and I loved it. Especially, I don't know whether it was a location in Japan or some secluded location in US. It was really good, and that facility also, it was dark, and there is some emotional connect towards the other two robots, the child robot and the teen robot. The teen robot gets possessive, seeing the development of the third robot. So such small plots, subplots makes it more interesting and makes the audience connect to the movie. And yeah, if you see, the whole movie is about this guy and this three robots, and there is this wife voice coming from the box. So you tend to believe that that is the actual world, but in the climax you are proven wrong. So yep, spoiler alert. I already spoiled, so you don't have to worry. You can tell anything about the movie. I told the major spoiler. I told what happens in the climax. If you go back and see, I have told what happens in the climax, so don't worry, you can post anything. Yes, do watch it. Story, narration, and narration is just a third person perspective, so it happens within dialogues and interaction. There is no what do you say, voiceover. So we see what is happening in the world, and then we realize what happened. And flashbacks are told in successive sessions, not in one go. So we come to know that the wife died in an accident after midway. So it is revealed in bits and pieces, like he had a wife, what happened to her wife is like a mystery until some point, and then we come to know the accident. And so this Japan, getting a project in Japan really happened in his life. But then he met with the accident and died, right? So that memory was still there, and when he became a memory in this computer, his memory started creating a new world. Like he got that project and he's living in this world. His wife died, so a lot of things developed. So it's a very beautiful movie, and audience will definitely connect to the characters and even the robots. So robot characters also very interesting. And do watch it if you have Netflix. Most of you should be having Netflix. If you have Netflix, watch the movie. Yes, and I will have lots and lots of movies to talk about, because I've watched like for 3 weeks continuously, 21 days I was watching a movie daily. So definitely I have a lot of movies to talk about, and I will pick up such interesting thrilling science fiction horror movies. Do stay tuned. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Power Wars, after a long time. Good evening, I am seeing you. Thank you for dropping by. I think I don't know. I've heard your name because you used to text me during gaming live streams. So I definitely have heard your name. Thank you for dropping by. And Muthukumar, Sam Manohar, Powers, thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. We'll catch up in another episode. And yes, tomorrow we'll continue Detroit. What a coincidence. Tomorrow is also Robot Game. Today we talked about Robot movie. Tomorrow we're going to play about Robot Game. So stay tuned. And this Friday, 2 movies are releasing. Don't miss it out. And yes, see you until the next episode. You're watching Medley with Maddie. I'm Maddie Dawson. Bye bye.